Good evening and welcome back to the Mayor's Update.
Wow, it's Wednesday again, and this week is going like you wouldn't believe. But it's been 7 days since we had Mayor's Update. We had a great show about the library last week, and from the Vines, which was two great things. Right?
Yeah.
So we've booked a Mayor's Story Time also at the library coming up.
And someone was asking what stuffies were.
Stuffies, yes.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my stuffy for the overnight. Yes.
Which are stuffed animals for anyone who's not aware.
Oh, sorry. I got that right away, but you're right. I thought after maybe people would know what a stuffy is.
They were like, is this this or that?
Joe after he's done eating. It's a stuffy. Yeah.
Oh, man. But there's so much going on and there's so much that's happened. Let's talk a little bit about past events. But before we get there, we're going to talk about our trivia question.
Okay. Trivia question. We've got a new one for you today because we both just noticed we're sitting in the council chambers here, looked out the window and said, somewhere in St. Thomas, we're painting a new mural. All right. So the first person who could tell us where that new mural is being painted and at least one of the objects that are counted in that mural, right? And that will win the prize, or at least put your name in.
And today is the draw.
Oh, today is also right. So as soon as we get a winner from tonight, we'll
draw
put the magic machine together and do a draw. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Like it. All right. What this week? Well, we had Mayor's Update last Wednesday, which is always the pinnacle of my week.
Mine as well.
Maybe next day when the Prime Minister came to town, might have equaled Mayor's Update. We have got the. It was
close. I wouldn't say it was as good as, but it was it was maybe on par.
Funnier than he was, but
quite a bit, I'd say. Yeah.
But had a great chance to walk with the Prime Minister from Legends, where he had some lunch. And suggested that next time he comes, there's another restaurant in town he has to visit.
And he had schnitzel for anyone who was asking, wondering
what was on there.
It was the
schnitzel. We walked over from there to the atrium. All right, what a beautiful place for a meeting like that too.
But the security around you, there were at least 8 people visible, kind of walking in a perimeter around the mayor as well as the Prime Minister, going down the street as the press were taking the photos.
So the photos look like we're walking pretty free and easy, and we're having a fantastic conversation, and I'll tell you, there's certainly been some people who said, "What are you doing, Joe?" I said, "Look, the Prime Minister was in town, and St. Thomas has always got some needs," and we talked while we walked about the murals in town and some of the other things we're trying to do, but we talked about the downtown and the brownfields situation that we're dealing with because we're an old railway town and much of the land is contaminated. And when I get to last night, I spoke to the Environment Minister federally about the same thing, that we need federal help in fixing something that was left by previous generations to make St. Thomas have more land ready for housing. So it was great to have a chance to have that type of conversation with the Prime Minister. And he went down to Streamliners, another great place for him to visit in St. Thomas, and met and talked to all people. He does a very good job of main streeting. And so when he goes into a place like that, he talks to the people there.
And people weren't restricted. Anyone could have walked in because no one knew what was happening. So anyone could have walked in, and then you would have been there when the Prime Minister showed up, which is pretty nifty.
Well, and at the atrium, we had a whole round table of young entrepreneurs. It was a good, great group who had, and the premise the Prime Minister put out to the group was, okay, so Volkswagen is coming to town, and it's a really great thing for St. Thomas. But what do you think it'll mean to your small business? How do you think it will help? And almost everybody universally was saying, that's going to drive more customers to every business in St. Thomas. And but it was also it's going to put a crunch on housing. It's going to put a crunch on growth on roads and a number of other things. So great conversation with young entrepreneurs last week too.
Absolutely. And there were people who were saying it was just a photo op. There was nothing constructive that was actually happening.
That part was real. We actually got some really good conversations in, and you don't get that with the head of state.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible actually that he made the time to come down.
And he and I laughed. We had a really good time walking over. It's telling I can't tell out of place stories from our time in Parliament together and others, but it was really quite a comfortable conversations to have. So we'll leave that one at that.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so there was another event you just got back from up in Ottawa.
I woke up in Ottawa this morning, and then flew back here today, but I flew up there yesterday afternoon. So it reminded me of my time in Parliament.
Right.
At times you had to go back and forth a couple times in the same week. And I certainly met up with Karen, and she attended a reception I was at last night. The Ivy Foundation asked me to come and talk about the new economy, and certainly what will happen with us being into a greener economy, certainly with a battery plant. And had a great reception on the Hill with a number of MPs there, some who I'd not met. They'd been elected since I left, and some of my old friends were there from all parties, and NDP, Bloc, all parties. It was really quite good last night. And then I also had a great chance to, Karen made it possible for me to grab the environment minister who was in the room to come hear the presentation.
Which is what we were just talking about.
Right.
In terms of the brownfields.
Yeah, and so we were able to talk right directly to the environment minister that you're about to get a letter from us, and I talked to your boss last week, so he said, well, we're on it then. Okay, so perfect. And then I went out with a number of my former colleagues. Three of us went out last night to Darcy McGee's and solved all the problems of the world. Since I left Parliament that long ago, they hadn't been getting as much sage advice as they needed. So we did that last night. And it might have had a beverage involved.
As it should.
Yes.
As it should.
Yeah.
So we should also talk about the splash pads, because I know Lily, my daughter, had a blast on the splash pad this weekend.
Well, weekend. We got into some pretty hot weather, and we do have some flexibility to be able to turn them on. Yeah. Right. And so where did you take Lily? Waterworks Park. Yeah. Beautiful. Right. And of course,
Hidden Gem.
Pinafore Park. And of course, One Password Park. Are all turned on now, and they're all there, and it stays this hot all through the week. A lot of people have been using them. So great.
Well, I know when it heated up last week, there were some comments I saw. People were saying, when are they opening up? Right. Can they turn the spigot on? I just want to get under the water with my kids during
they're
this
a little
time.
Safer than pools can be, right?
Far more,
you don't really, many adults are there with their children. There's no real, pools of water. And so it is a fairly easy thing to do, but we still have to have the staff, and the park staff this time of year, with as fast as grass was growing, as much planting has had to be done. If you've been to Pinafore Park, boy, there's some really good work been done in the gardens.
Oh my goodness, the Minecraft plant.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw the city shared it. I was like, are you kidding me? This is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
And so then, but somebody has to go turn on and off the splash pads, but we've got staff. And so they're out. We got it done long before June 1st this year. And
that's
incredible. Really the date that is possible. We'll get it done by June 1st. But and sometimes even just till school getting out is really the appropriate date, but not with weather like this.
Oh my goodness, I can't.
Perfect.
Summer's here early. So we don't have any answers in yet for this.
Where's the newest mural being painted in town?
Come on, guys.
Hey, get out in your car. See if you can find it. Wait,
it's by City Hall. That's your hint.
Yeah, okay, it is near City Hall. We did say we were looking out the windows at City Hall when we saw it. I was a number of events last weekend too, and most of them had to do with JoJo the Wonder Dog. We opened Ren's Pets last week, and so we were there cutting the ribbon, and JoJo came over with us and got some dog treats and had a good time. And then we also on Sunday the Port Stanley Leos put on a dog walk in Pinafore Park to raise money for service dogs. And so we were there cutting that ribbon, and then did the walk through the park. It was a pretty hot day, right? And we had a great time. And then I ended up in Port Stanley on Sunday also, just for a visit. And I thought, this might be suicidal. I'm going to drive to Port Stanley on a hot Sunday afternoon.
You're never going to get out.
And it truly wasn't bad.
No,
I mean, it got
shocking.
busy while we were there, but truly, the mayor doesn't get out of St. Thomas very often.
Did you get in trouble for going to like a restaurant outside of St. Thomas?
I did go to a restaurant, but I'm not telling anybody which one.
So I remember that time you went to the Waffle House and like people put you on the grill.
Right. not enough restaurants in St. Thomas. Yes, there is. But look, we're working well with our neighbors and the neighboring community. So it's fun to get out to Port Stanley. And I plan to do a lot more of that type of touring this year too.
Awesome.
Lots of events going on in St. Thomas too. But trying to also get to the cottage, whenever we can too.
Yeah. So we've got an answer here from a person called Wannabe Canadian on YouTube. Right. And they say it's at the library. Now the mural's not at the library, but I'm gonna add them in for this because it's right next to the library.
It's on the wall behind the park. That's right next to the library. Yes. Right. Okay. So that's a partial win. We're gonna go for that. Right. We probably need to get their name, but right.
So Wannabe Canadian, message us your name, me specifically via the Established Media Facebook page. I'm gonna put you in the draw. If you win, we're gonna need to know who you are to give you your prize.
Order to give you prizes, and we have. $25 Wendy's gift certificate, and we have
a signed art print. Yeah, always.
Excellent autograph.
Yeah, every time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry you're still alive now, but one day you won't be, and then
that's right.
Worth a lot more.
And you never know when that could happen. It could happen any day.
I think about it a lot. No, for me, I mean. Right?
No, me too. It's like,
and we don't really have a guest this week. We've got a lot of things going on in town, so we thought we would just spend some time talking about the upcoming events and some other current event things, like the construction on Talbot Street or the MTO study of transportation and highways near us. We're going to
that is a very cool one
today. So,
let's do the MTO one because, personally, as someone who's in Southold and this is like right near my home. What's happening with that?
Yeah, I noticed that it just missed your house.
Just misses, yeah.
Well, part of the talk, and this is a study, this isn't a done deal, but there's a conversation now with MTO about moving traffic from St. Thomas and certainly from the new Volkswagen PowerCo plant, using the number 3 bypass out of St. Thomas. And truly, we've already been working on extending that number 3 bypass into the Volkswagen lands. So it'll be all direct. Come down through where the bypass already is and likely 4-lane it through St. Thomas on the bypass. And then when it meets up with Wellington, the bypass itself, the Highway 3 bypass, it will start to kind of cut cross country towards Highway 4.
And it connects into where the Ford plant was, because that's a fairly large highway. So
and it's 4 lanes there, and that was the thought. And we know that the MTO is starting this year on reconstructing the overpass at Highway 4 and the 401.
Right.
So because they now know they're doing that, 4 lanes all the way up to almost to Talbotville, past the Ford plant, and then cut across and join up with the Highway 3 bypass. Makes it not having to a far safer, better route to the 401, straight from the factory, straight from St. Thomas, another way in. You get to the 401, go south to Windsor or east to Toronto.
And all the people that are worried about Highbury can just take that.
But agreed, it will take the pressure off Highbury and take the pressure off Wellington. But
and Wonderland.
And Wonderland. I often forget about Wonderland. But the Wonderland comes to that stubby point there where they're talking about a roundabout. But look, this is for input, public input. So we want you all to give public input on this as you see the notice. All right, let's make sure everybody does it. We'll talk more about it in the future too, and we'll answer your questions on it.
All right. So I have the app all figured out. They updated my app, my draw app, so it's much more complicated now. I'm sure some people love it. I'm rather annoyed that it's more complicated. So that's what I was working away at while you were chatting.
Yeah. Okay. So is it time to do the draw?
It's time. Okay. So we're gonna draw the painting first. Draw. Oh, I guess who do we got? Wannabe Canadian has won the painting.
Just got the answer in, and now he's won. And so
or she
on the painting. She. Okay.
Yeah, it could be either way. I don't know.
Oh, it could be. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I never thought of that.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Well, I want to be Canadian too, but I was born that way, so it works. Right. Yeah. Right.
Who wouldn't want to be Canadian?
Right. Well, almost everybody I've met around the world. Yeah.
Number 1 place.
Okay, so that was for the painting.
All right. Now we got Wendy's.
Right.
Can we a drum roll, please?
Okay.
Sharon M.
All right.
There we go,
Excellent.
Montgomery.
All right. So our 2 winners for the month of May.
Yep. And sorry, Margaret, you were in on this one, but you didn't win this time around.
Boy, Margaret's won almost every time. This may be the only time that she has not.
No, Sharon wins most of the time.
Sharon
Margaret has won one good one.
All right, let's run down some more of the neat things that are happening this week.
Awesome.
You know what else starts this week with the splash pad starting up? Is music in the park.
Awesome.
And it's something that's kind of been missing for a couple of years. I mean, but music in the park is back, starting Sunday at 6 in the band shell, right? John Millis.
Awesome. Phenomenal musician.
Great start. And so when I noticed he had put out a little teaser about it, I said, okay, we got to get that on Mayor's Update. I also shared it onto my pages. So let's get a good crowd out there on Sunday night and sing along. There's great music to be heard there. What else is going on?
We've got the Hammerlock Pro Wrestling coming up, I believe, June 2nd.
Yes.
So check that out. It's at the Railway Museum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So who's going to come off the top rope on their locomotive? No,
I don't know.
Yeah, professional.
That would be epic if it did happen.
What else have we got going on? You see the pictures today on social media about the curbing and the work on Talbot Street.
Yes, the downtown development
really
looks amazing.
Moving along quick, and of course, if we keep weather like this, we'll get that portion done. So somebody asked me today, well, what about the next portion? Because this is Mary Street to the City Hall block.
Are we ahead of schedule?
Oh, easily ahead of schedule. Let's say we're ahead of budget too, but we're ahead of schedule. And then the next portion from that middle of the City Hall block to Ross Street starts happening next. But this one, look, it appears though we could almost pave road within the next couple of days.
That's incredible.
When that happens, then we can start into the sidewalk side. But the road could be back open, and then it starts to help the businesses a lot more. And still a little bit of disruption, folks. Obviously, when we do the sidewalks in front of each individual business, that'll be a bit of a disruption to them. But the quicker we can get that out of the way, and with great communication about when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen, I cannot wait to see this portion of downtown all finished in a very nice design pattern, but just cleaned up and freshened up and looking great in downtown St. Thomas.
Now I've got a question with the line painting, because I know that down on Sunset there seems to have been some issues with the line painting on the roads once it was finished.
And that contractor has been told that was not an adequate job, and he'll be going back and blacking it out and doing the stripes over again.
I mean, okay, it's funny because I know that it shouldn't be it shouldn't bother me that much, but it kind of does.
Well, I get it. We pay for good work, and it's in the contracts, and we can go back and say that's not good enough and do it again. And there's certain quality things that have to be met. Now that's a surface coat on Sunset over top for a fair bit of it. We don't do much of that because we don't tend to put pavement down if we haven't been underground, because if in 5 years we dig it back up to go underground. But that one, as we had closed Sunset for a lot of last year to run pipes and stuff to the north, we thought when we paved, we'd go also quite a ways south on the paving. So nicer street. It's already too fast, and we get a lot of speeding complaints on Sunset.
Already, right out of the gate?
Well, it already was.
Yeah.
And we had somebody try to drive through it while it was closed, and ran into one of our loaders and pushed it into the ravine.
I happened to be working with the police on a video the day after that happened. And everyone was in shock that it had happened. It's like, how did you went through a barrier? You maybe went through something else and then into a hole.
I'm guessing there was another reason, just not bad driving, although that certainly is bad driving too. What else we got going on? The basketball and pickleball courts being installed at Burwell Park, and a new set of playground equipment up there too, because we're doing the whole piece. This one is a great contribution by Mr. Gutierrez from Goldman Sachs. I think that's correct. He wanted to contribute some great basketball courts, and so as part of it, we're also doing a little bit of city work but mostly funded by an outside source who wanted to give a contribution back to his hometown. And so
it's
really
incredible
pleased to see it happening. Right?
Yeah.
And
really nice photo on
really fast too.
On the city website, the sunset, and you've got the the construction equipment, backlit. Very nice.
Lot of stuff going on, and we're not done with construction yet this year. We're just barely into construction season, and here we are almost finishing, or at least in a great way, Talbot Street being done, but lots of other stuff happening in our community.
And we've got a question about the apartments over on Queen Street that are getting put up by and run by Indwell. Yes. When are they going to be move-in ready?
Well, we're saying summer. So by June 21st, I think we will be starting. Some people had a tour of them last week, and they were there. It still is a construction zone, but it's getting very close to done. So certainly this summer, I would say in the month of June, if not very early in July, 45 people will have new housing in St. Thomas. 45 people will now not be homeless and will be in a building with on-site mental health supports and addiction support.
That's
so 45 exciting. More people moving to Housing First here in St. Thomas. More to go still. This council's been exceptionally progressive in making sure we're doing that first, and we'll continue to do so. So that's another great one. What else we got?
Have we talked about
the Participation Challenge?
Yes.
Starts tomorrow, the month of June. There's a challenge for communities, among communities, about fitness, and participation has always been, if you remember. Right? And so we signed up. The mayor downloaded the app this week.
Well, today. You're looking fitter, I must say.
I am trying my best. This will really help me motivate through the month of June to be getting out there and doing certain amount of walking, running, and fitness at CrossFit.
I've got this is my month to start.
All right. Okay. Well, let me know when we're going.
Well,
I'll be there.
That's Friday.
I'll show you how much fun it is.
Friday morning.
And so sign up to the Participation Community Challenge, and then load the Participation app down on your phone so that it can track what you're doing and how much you're contributing to being fitter and St. Thomas becoming a fitter community.
So are we competing with other communities?
That's what it looks like, community challenge.
Because I want to win.
Yeah.
I like winning.
We could run circles around Ingersoll. Oh, wait, I just made that up. No, we probably shouldn't run circles.
No.
Right.
I don't think I would pass out before I made it all the way around. Right. To be honest, especially in this weather.
We can show them online.
Yes, I could draw circles around on the map.
Who's the
artistically
challenge, right? So we've done Music in the Park. We mentioned that last week we would talk about Canada Day, and we'd settle with some more information.
That's right.
I do not have it all. However, it does appear as though, and with good consultation with our friends at the Kinsman, who do
Fantastic
the fireworks
folks.
for us, that we'll be doing them at Password Park, at One Password Park.
It's going to go off with a bang, I hear.
Far more parking, far safer for neighboring homes, and also the noise of fireworks being just a little further away from some of the houses. So fireworks for sure at One Password Park. But Canada Day will still be celebrated on July 1st, and will be a number of places in this community. So
absolutely.
More to cover with you next week on Mayor's Update as to what other events there will be in St. Thomas and where they'll be.
Very exciting.
Did we didn't ever then share the mural?
We have not talked about the mural yet. No.
So there's a large mural going up on the wall behind what is the new Westlake Evans Park on Curtis Street, right beside the library. Right. So, and it seems to be a very large beaver and a large squirrel or something.
There's definitely a beaver.
Yeah.
There's definitely a beaver.
And, it's
very
it's
colorful
park,
beaver.
So you should have a beaver in your park.
It's geometric. I like it. I like the design.
It's bold. It stands out. It'll be great as the background for a park.
It really says St. Thomas to me.
And there's 2 or 3 more murals this year, and we will save them because we may do contests with where is the next
that's perfect.
mural.
I love it. I love it.
But come down and look and see what's happening there. The new child care center is almost finishing. Westlake Evans Park needs a bit more to go, but so much was done last year that we can get a good start now that it's June 1st. Finish off that park, and
I can't wait. This whole area over, like we're looking at it. It's out this way, just beside City Hall, kind of kitty corner. And it's going to be this complete. I keep saying
kind
gem.
Of town square. That's what it behind.
I'm
City
so
Hall,
excited for our
beside
city.
The library, a big park, beautiful mural, right, and the new child care center. So
everything you could ever want in a little square.
A pretty good job at the corner of Curtis and St. Catharines.
Absolutely. And Corey Gardner is saying, go team Grayden and Joe for the fitness. So,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll pull my weight. No, lift my weight. I don't know what it is.
Carry. I don't know. And then Margaret Menendez is saying, is it fireworks only at 1Password?
No, well, as I said, we'll share more next week as to where other Canada Day events and what other Canada Day events are happening and where they're happening. So stay tuned. That's so you can prepare and to let you know that we have had a conversation with the Kinsman Club about taking the fireworks. Pinafore Park was becoming tighter and tighter from a fireworks point of view, safety point of view. And so just easier to move it to a great big open space. So we're all set.
Very good. Also, Wildflowers Farm is having their market.
Yes.
This is it Friday? I think it's Friday.
Their Friday night market.
Friday night market. The first Friday night market of the season.
And if you haven't been out to the Horton Market on the Saturday morning.
I go there almost every week with Jess, and it is just awesome.
It's a great event, great place to, and the mayor still has a real shortage of rhubarb. So,
well, I hear there's some people working on that.
Okay,
I will get back to you.
All right, good, because
all my people talk to your people.
Yeah, because when rhubarb first comes out, everybody gets out there and
there's been a lack of rhubarb this year. Jess has been commenting on it as well.
I heard that, and so when you find you've got some left still and your family's now tired of rhubarb and asparagus, because I never grow tired of asparagus.
Asparagus is so we've been having like roasted asparagus. We just had asparagus soup. And Jess is an amazing cook.
Oh, well, we had asparagus just the other night again too, and perfect. You can do asparagus very quick with whatever you're having.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So right now, farmers markets, and then we'll start into strawberries. I would bet maybe with this weather as early as this Saturday.
Howe's teased a picture of a ripe strawberry on their Facebook page saying they're coming.
Okay, and so you can buy the one ripe. No, I'm
that's
kidding.
right. No, it's $100.
It comes very quickly once they start to ripen. Then you're out in the fields doing it. And I more do my. I love to hand pick my strawberries.
Pick your own.
Oh yeah, I'm not going out in the fields and bending and get. No, I'm. Of course, maybe during our fitness challenge, that's what we should be doing is picking our own strawberries.
That's right. We have another event. Mary Louise White. Now she is a local St.Thomasonian, but she's going to be in St. Mary's, repping her glass artwork. And if you haven't seen her artwork, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's beautiful stuff. So she's going to be in St. Mary's on June 2nd for. Through to July 8th, and there's an opening on June 3rd from 1 to 4 p.m. at the St. Mary's Station Gallery. So if you want to take a trip up to St. Mary's, which is a gorgeous city, that's where my father's family is from, you can, and then you can check out the art gallery as well as the city and go to the bakeries. And there's
lots of great stuff in
much
St. Mary's, and and the quarries. Don't drop. Might be a bit cool still, but I don't know.
And apparently they had a whole they had a whole play place thing, like it's all blow up like. In the water. There's just like phenomenal setup. So it looks very cool. Yeah. But I want to say that my St. Mary's folks, they're coming down on July 11th to have our family picnic at Pinafore.
Well, excellent. So where else would you go in this area of the Southern Ontario?
Our beautiful park. So,
yes, we do get a lot of credit for what St. Thomas has in parks. I like Councillor Peter says a lot. He thinks he likes Waterworks better. Right, and for different reasons. So we need to start Hatfield and McCoy's about Waterworks Park.
Oh yeah, Park. It has to be a water battle to be to win.
Yeah,
right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my peeps are marching over there with their water guns. No, it's
the Bloom Brigade. Yeah.
This is how we roll.
I love it. Beth Douglas said she's already had 2 bowls of strawberries from her garden.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
lucky duck.
As I said, this week as it got hot. And it got sunny. Things will ripen very quickly outside right now.
So we're almost out of time. Are there any things coming up we should mention?
Well, we got council finally Monday night. Seems like 3 weeks since we've had a council meeting.
Seems like forever.
We've got some really neat things happening. One of them is we have we're going to recognize somebody, and also a certain local sports hero is in town with the trophy that her team won.
Who's that?
Brittany Howard.
Boom, boom.
And so we're going to have her at City Council on Monday night and recognize that. But,
love it.
We're happy to have her come, and it'll be a lot of fun. And then we got a lot to talk about on Monday night. chickens.
Chickens is coming back.
We're going to talk about chickens.
The return of the chickens.
Yeah, I'm not telling you what the recommendations from staff has been.
Ooh, it's exciting.
We're going to have a good
Tune
conversation
in Monday night.
Right.
5 p.m.
We're going to come out of our shell. And no, I'm just joking. Okay, I haven't got many more egg jokes.
That was excellent.
That
was excellent. Yeah, we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. This has been a great show.
It has been.
Thanks for all our viewers. Thanks for all your participation.
Thanks
to the mayor.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks to our sponsors.
It's just Grayden and I. We get through a pile of stuff.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
You know, you got questions, we got answers. Bring them in. We'll reel them out. All right. Take care, guys.